Hello children. Now we start the remaining part of excretory system. Structure of a typical kidney tubule or an nephron. It consists of Bowman's capsule. Have a look here. This is the Bowman's capsule. Cup-shaped structure. Inside the Bowman's capsule is a knot of blood capillaries called as glomerulus. Glomerulus. A branch from the renal artery, the efferent arteriole, the incoming arteriole, enters into the Bowman's capsule, forms a mass of blood capillaries and leaves as efferent arteriole. Got it till here? Bowman's capsule and glomerulus together are known as Malpighian capsule or just renal capsule. Next, we continue it as the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal means nearer to Bowman's capsule. Both Bowman's capsule and the PCT lie in the cortex, and if you remember, I told you that the renal cortex shows a dark and a dotted appearance. So here lies the answer to the question, why does the renal cortex show a dark and a dotted appearance? Because both the Bowman's capsule and the PCT lie in the cortex. Is it clear? The PCT then continues as U-shaped part called the loop of Henle. It runs into the medulla to turn back and to re-enter the cortex to continue in the next convoluted region of the kidney tubule, which is distal convoluted tubule, DCT, which means farther. Distal means farther away from the Bowman's capsule. It opens into the collecting duct. The collecting duct receives the contents of many kidney tubules and pours it as urine in the pelvis of the kidney. Here you see DCT and here is the collecting duct. I know you must have already drawn this diagram. Now learn again to draw and label it. Blood supply to the kidney tubules. A pair of renal arteries branch off from the dorsal aorta to enter into the kidneys. Remember, we have done it in circulatory system. Arteries carry oxygenated blood to the organs. So here you have renal artery carrying oxygenated blood to the kidney. Each renal artery branches and rebranches many times to form arterioles, which enters into the Bowman's capsule as efferent arteriole. Look at the figure 8.3 once again. From renal artery, you have a branch, efferent arteriole. This efferent arteriole breaks into a number of capillaries, forms a knot-like mass called the glomerulus. This fits in the Bowman's capsule. The reuniting capillaries of the glomerulus form efferent arteriole. Efferent means to carry away. The efferent arteriole, after emerging from the Bowman's capsule, runs a short distance, breaks into secondary capillary network called as vasa recta, which surrounds the renal tubule and rejoins to form a vein. Here you can see here the blood capillaries, the capillary network, which forms the veins, and the veins reunite to form finally the renal vein, which leaves the kidney at the median surface to pour the blood into the posterior vena cava. Once again, I remind you children, the blood vessel which enters the kidney is renal artery and which leaves the kidney is renal vein. Function of the kidney. It is formation of urine, and formation of urine occurs in the following steps: ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. I have already given it to you in notes. Ultrafiltration. The blood flows through the glomerulus under great pressure, and this is termed as ultrafiltration. Why? The reason for this great pressure is that the efferent arteriole is narrower than the afferent arteriole. This pressure causes the liquid part of the blood to filter out from the glomerulus into the kidney tubule. During ultrafiltration, the liquid part of the blood, that is plasma, along with its organic and inorganic constituents, including urea, glucose, amino acids, comes out of the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule, and the fluid entering the Bowman's capsule is termed as glomerular filtrate, which consists of water, urea, salts, glucose and other plasma solutes. The thicker part of the blood left behind in the glomerulus after ultrafiltration. The thicker part of the blood is not filtered, remember. So, the thick part consists of the two kinds of corpuscles and proteins, which are carried forward through the efferent arteriole. This was ultrafiltration. Now, tubular reabsorption. The glomerular filtrate consists of a large amount of useful substances like glucose, some salts such as those of sodium. As the filtrate passes down, more of water and other useful substances are reabsorbed such that the normal osmotic concentration of blood is not disturbed. Finally, tubular secretion. Substances such as potassium ion and a large amount of foreign chemicals, including drugs like penicillin, are passed into the forming urine in DCT. The passage involves activities of the cells of the tubular wall, hence it is called tubular secretion. The filtrate left after reabsorption and tubular secretion is termed as urine. In a nutshell, functions: glomerulus ultrafiltration, Bowman's capsule receives glomerular filtrate, proximal convoluted tubule reabsorbs most of water, glucose, sodium and chloride ions. Loop of Henle, reabsorption of water and sodium ions, and DCT, the walls secrete potassium and foreign chemical substances. With this, I will stop here, children. Learn till here thoroughly well. Take care.